Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Hogwarts Legacy video, and today we are going to be exploring Hogsmeade. Now before we get into the rest of the video, if you're looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy, which the release is so close now, and you want to keep up to date with all the new information coming out, any leaks, because there have been a couple of huge leaks recently, I'll refer to one of them in this video, but I won't be showing it on screen, because in a previous video of mine, just from a couple of days ago, I spoke about the huge map leak, and I used pictures as evidence to show you guys that the leak was legitimate. And that was not what Warner Brothers wanted to see on YouTube, because they have removed that video and given the channel a strike. So it doesn't affect anything as long as I don't keep doing that. So I will just be talking to you about it. I won't be using actual footage from leaks to back up my points. I'll just leave a link in the description to the Reddit page with all of the leaks and information, which includes the map from the video that was taken down. And if you'd like to hear me talking through all of the other points, that's in yesterday's video, which is still up on the channel. So make sure you leave a like on this video, on the last video, and subscribe to the channel, because there will be Hogwarts Legacy content leading up to and following on from the game's release. But moving on to Hogsmeade, among this huge leak was also a small section of the map focused completely around that village, and it also included a guide just next to it describing all of the different terrains, such as just your paved roads, your stairs, bridges, cliffs, fields, water and trees. But most important to know is that there were two types of rocks, some that were traversable and some that are completely off limits. So if you go and find the leaked image of the map, a lot of the area looks very mountainous, but only right around the edges does it become a lighter grey, which means that it's completely off limits and not traversable at all. But the map itself shows a graveyard off to the side, it shows a path behind Hogsmeade leading all the way through to the Forbidden Forest, and it shows just at the entrance a path that leads off to Hogwarts. But most importantly, it shows which buildings in Hogsmeade are shops which you can go in and enter, and which are just houses there to help flesh out the village, but not for your character to walk into. You cannot interact with them, you can't go inside, but all of the shops you can, and there are 20 of them. There are 20 different shops in Hogsmeade that we'll be able to go into, and there are 26 houses that you won't, but that's not the important part here. What's interesting is what those shops are going to be, and we have a fair few that we already know about. Starting with what is technically not a shop, but definitely a building that we will be able to interact and go into. There's two of them actually. One of them is of course the Three Broomsticks, and the second is the Hogshead Inn. Now of course there won't be a bar run by Aberforth Dumbledore. Albus himself is 9 years old at the time of Hogwarts Legacy, which means Aberforth would only be 6. And Ariana even younger, and of course she wouldn't end up in Hogwarts anyway. So it doesn't seem like there'll be one of the Dumbledores in Hogwarts Legacy, at least not in this one. There's potential for in a sequel, our character to be a 7th year, and Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore that is, being a 1st year. But of course, no matter what, Aberforth will not be at the Hogshead. But I expect these two locations to simply be a social space. You could go up and buy yourself a butterbeer or some food, potentially to help replenish your health, but most likely you'll go in there for side missions, and there'll be people you can meet who will probably give you quests, and you'll have to return to the inn or to the Three Broomsticks to complete their missions. But moving on to locations, we have the potions shop, Pippin's Potions, where you'll be able to of course purchase fully formed potions, but you'll also be able to purchase different ingredients and different recipes that you can mix and match together to make potions to help you in combat, to help restore your health, or potentially to help care for your magical creatures. We then have Tomes and Scrolls, which is a bookshop, where I would expect you can go and research, potentially for more spells to unlock new abilities for your character. And once again, like probably every shop in Hogsmeade, there could be a side quest here for us to take on. Now, possibly the most interesting shop here, purely because I wasn't expecting it, is Ollivander's. And yes, completely in the lore, Ollivander's has a Hogsmeade branch. We just always associate it with Diagon Alley, and since we don't know if Diagon Alley actually features in the game, we've seen our character deep inside Gringotts Bank, but we haven't seen any other area of Diagon Alley, and I'd be shocked if Diagon Alley's in the game and they haven't used it for promotion of the game at all. You'd think that would be completely at the forefront alongside Hogwarts Castle itself. So it seems we'll be able to upgrade our wands in Ollivanders, but we won't be going to Diagon Alley, we'll simply be going to Hogsmeade for it. We then have Gladrag's Wizard Wear, which is where you'll be able to customise your character's outfits, and we saw from the leaked character menu that you'll be able to customise your outfit and your robes or your cloak separately, as well as your headwear and any other accessories. So the clothing shop in Hogsmeade seems to be the place to do that. And of course, if you own a PlayStation and are playing Hogwarts Legacy on a PlayStation, you get the exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest, in which you, the player, buy a shop in Hogsmeade, but it turns out there's a huge mystery behind it, and the trailer itself looked extremely interesting, almost going down a horror route. So if you don't own a PlayStation console, you will have to wait an entire year for this mission to be available, which really sucks, and I hope for those on the last gen consoles, if you buy it on Xbox One, you don't have to wait an entire year from that launch. Hopefully it just comes out to you in February, because that's the least you could ask for. Now of course you also expect to be able to go to Honeyduke's, and Zonko's shop I'm sure was confirmed in a developer showcase. But I've just gone onto the Harry Potter wiki to run through some locations that we could still potentially see in Hogsmeade to make up the 20 different shops that we'll be able to access. We have Ceridwen's Cauldrons, of course a cauldron shop, so potentially could help upgrade our potion making skills. Maybe you get more XP or more upgrades from your potions classes if you have a better cauldron. Dervish and Bangs of course helps repair and sell magical instruments, so whether they'd be able to help us in combat, or if, I don't know, our wand broke, that's where we'd go to repair it, although I doubt that's the case. Or if it does happen, it would be a huge plot point and not something that just generally happens in combat, and then you just have to pop off to Hogsmeade to fix your wand up before you can keep going. There is Dogweed and Deathcap, a herbology shop, which could potentially be included to help out with your magical creatures. But of course we have the Pippin's Potion shop, so herbology ingredients, unless this shop contains a completely different range of ingredients and recipes, it wouldn't make sense so much for it to be included. There is a music shop, which would be a lovely novelty, and maybe we could select different types of music to be playing in our room of requirement. There is also a hairdressing salon just across the street from Honeyduke's, so that will be a lovely in-game way for us to customise how our character looks, rather than just opening a menu. It's just a little bit more immersion and help to bring up the number of shops in town. You've got the post office, which I'm not sure when it would be used, but could be very helpful for giving us side missions, as could the railway station of course. And hopefully, I mentioned Honeyduke's earlier, but hopefully Honeyduke's has the secret passageway into Hogwarts down in its cellar. The Marauders map is non-existent at this time, but hopefully that passageway is still functional. There is of course Madame Puddifoot's tea shop, which is the most pretty and cute little shop in Hogsmeade, just a tea shop, and of course it was just used for dates. So whether that's where we go if we want to romance someone in Hogwarts Legacy, it would make complete sense. There is of course the Shrieking Shack, which should be completely interactable, so maybe this comes under the shop umbrella, even though you won't be going into the Shrieking Shack to purchase anything, and it wouldn't make sense for it to be called the Shrieking Shack either, because Lupin's not there transforming into a werewolf every full moon. So it would just be the shack, and hopefully we can still enter it and interact with the building. There is Spintwitch's Sporting Needs, which sells sporting goods, and that's just gutting because we know Quidditch won't be in the game, so we won't have much need for a shop like this. But finally we have Stitches and Drafts, which is a shop that sells a bunch of random items and could most definitely be included in the game, because it would make sense for just anything, whether it's purely cosmetic or just more joke items like Zonko's. You've got to find 20 shops to fit into Hogsmeade, and who knows, they could be completely creative with side quests to give you from here. But that is all for the Hogsmeade information today. Let me know down below, out of all of these shops, which one you'll be heading to first. I assume we'll already have a wand, so we won't need to head straight to Ollivanders. So personally, I'm going straight to Zonko's, and I just want to see what they've come up with to add into the game here. But leave a like on this video if you're excited for Hogwarts Legacy. Subscribe to the channel because, as I said, content coming out of my ears leading up to and going on from the launch of the game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you next time.